Our playoff march continues as the Leafs give St. Louis the Blues in a shootout. Our playoff march continues! Toronto Maple Leafs have named Dion Phaneuf the 18th team captain in Leaf history. Leafs, beast in the East. And the Leafs are rocking it out in the Music City. Oh man, that was great. Cheer up, Canada. The Leafs won. I mean, I know everybody's reeling from the blown lead that we had on the Russians on Wednesday night, and the Russians ended up winning gold. But hey, Team Canada did win silver. I mean, it's 2 years in a row, but this is a positive thing to take back to their respective junior teams, because they actually got the team to the gold medal round. So that's something to be proud of. And speaking of Team Canada of the NHL played tonight against the St. Louis Blues, and they too had a Schenn in the lineup. Anyways, Thursday afternoon, though, before the game, Brian Burke took part in the practice. He even laced up his skates, put on some body protective gear, and put a Leaf practice jersey on and played defense for a little bit. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't laugh at this, because some general managers actually do take part in practices in this way, although I don't know what spot they play, goalie, defense, forward, center, whatever. Anyways, tonight marks the return of Alex Steen and Carlo Koliakovo for the first time to the Air Canada Centre since they were traded away for Lee Stepniak. And unfortunately, the Blues appear to have won this trade, because Lee Stepniak is now in Phoenix, because the Leafs traded him last year to Phoenix for a 7th round pick and Matt Jones, in which I have no idea what happened to him. Anyways, first period, the Leafs get things started off by scoring 15 minutes into the game as Colby Armstrong deflects a shot from Chris Versteeg, and it's 1-0 Leafs very quickly. And 3 minutes later, Alex Steen scores to tie the game at 1. And halfway through the first period, David Backles collects a D'Agostini rebound, and it's 2-0 Blues, unfortunately. And in the second period, Dion Phaneuf gets penalized, but hey, the Leafs actually kill off the penalty, and Grabowski scores his 15th of the season, and that is the current team-leading amount of goals scored for a Leaf player this season so far, and it's a 2-2 tie. And then later, Chris Versteeg scores his, I think it's his 9th, and it makes it a 3-2 Leafs lead. And then Phil Kessel once again ties himself up with Grabowski in terms of the team lead in goals scored this season, as he makes it 4-2. Out goes Halak, the hero of the playoffs last year for the Habs. You know, I really don't get how the Habs actually made it to the conference finals. They suck. Well, anyways, the fact is, Halak was pulled for Conklin, and in the second period, interesting enough, Mike Komisarek interferes with Brad Winchester, but for some reason, Winchester gets the interference call instead of Mike Komisarek. But hey, that benefits the Leafs, because Komisarek stays out of the penalty box, and the Leafs are on the power play. And then Jackman is penalized, and the Leafs are on a 5-on-3 advantage for a minute. What the heck was stopping them from scoring? I just don't get it. Well, anyways, the Monster makes a great save in a scramble, and the play was under review, but the puck was under him, so whether or not it was a goal, it was inconclusive, so the goal was waved off. And in the third period, Kessel, once again, after getting on the ice behind the St. Louis Blues player, and scores to make it 5-2 for the Leafs. And the Blues didn't even know that he scored until after they looked behind and saw him score. Wow, he's just that quick. And then another shot on net, and the Monster appeared to make the save, but the goal judge turned on the goal light, and I'm wondering what the heck happened. It was behind him, but it wasn't even over the line. And the refs looked at it, they reviewed it, and it looked like it just made it over the line by a centimeter or two. Even though the monster was pushed back, in my opinion, that goal should have been disallowed because of goaltender interference. Wow. Anyways, Brad Winchester makes it 5-3 for the Leafs because of that. And then later, Bruin takes a Pollock deflection and scores to make it 5-4 for the Leafs. And later after that, D'Agostini on a breakaway ties the game at 5. What was going on with this collapse? It's just as bad as the collapse that Team Canada suffered against the Russians yesterday. Oh, wow. But the Leafs do manage to take it to overtime and to the shootout. And in the defense of the monster, he stopped 39 of 44 shots. So most of the goals that the St. Louis Blues scored were mostly the defense's fault for not keeping them out of the net. But this does go to a shootout. First shooters for the Leafs and the Blues were Phil Kessel and Alex Steen. Steen scores, Kessel misses. And then it's Grabowski and Boyce. Grabowski once again does the spinorama, and this is probably the best spinorama I've seen him do so far. It looked like he was going to go wide and shoot on a bad angle, but he does the spinorama, completely fools Conklin, who actually was training to stop or to counter the spinorama that Grabowski does a lot, but he caught Conklin by surprise. He lifts the puck over his right pad and scores. Unfortunately, so does Brad Boyce, so that doesn't resolve anything. Then it's Chris Versteeg and D'Agostini. Versteeg scores, but D'Agostini shoots it over top of the net. So the Leafs have a chance there, and in comes Bozak. He blasts it past Conklin, and Berglund completely misses the net. So as a result, on the 3,000th career home game for the Leafs in their history of existence, the Leafs win for the first time against the St. Louis Blues at the Air Canada Centre. The last home game the Leafs won against the Blues was back in 1998 in February at Maple Leaf Gardens. So that's downright impressive against the St. Louis Blues. But I mean, the Blues pick up a point, but hey, the Blues are in the Western Conference, so it doesn't exactly screw up our playoff march by giving a team ahead of us an extra point. So hey, the Leafs win, the St. Louis Blues lose, and our playoff march continues once again. Now, the Leafs are going to start a 4-game road trip that starts Friday in Atlanta, and this Saturday will be the second Saturday in which the Leafs will not be playing on Hockey Night in Canada, mostly because I think they'll be flying out to the West Coast to take on the Los Angeles Kings, the San Jose Sharks, the Phoenix Coyotes, and their next home game will be on Hockey Night in Canada next week against the Calgary Flames, in which we have a shot at revenge after they beat us in our Western Conference Canadian road swing. So, until after Friday night or sometime on Saturday, go Leafs, go!